right. There we go. Hello, everyone. We are so glad that you are here and joining us this evening for the last of the Blind Birder Bird-a-Thon community conversations. This wraps up a series of pretty engaging, interesting, informative sessions that we've held from November of 2025 and through last month. All of those are available, recorded, and on the YouTube at Birdability. I will make sure to continue to send those out as well as send out the recording for this information session later in our after our time together tonight. So, my name is Kat Fribley. I am the executive director here at Birdability. I'm joining you all from Iowa City, Iowa, where we're actually currently under a tornado watch. So, my friends, if I disappear and Jerry becomes the host, you will know why. I am a just the luckiest person in the world to get to do this work in community with all of you and with an incredible planning team. Our work at Birdability, as you all know, is to make sure that everyone knows that birding is literally for everyone. And we do that in so many different ways. We try to make sure that we make clear that birding is any way that you enjoy wild birds, and that part of the joy of birding is being in community, not only with the birds and other creatures of the world, but also with each other. And then building that community is a deep part of what Jerry Barrier, Martha Steele, and Donna Poussant have been doing over the course of the last few years. So we are so grateful that you're here, whether you are literally brand new and discovering birds for the very first time, or whether you've been like Jerry birding for 50 plus years. I'm so glad that we're able to be together tonight to get to hear a little bit more about how things are going to work on May 3rd and 4th, and to answer any questions that folks have. And with that, I think I'm going to turn it over to our esteemed team. And I think, Martha, you are going to take it from here. And we're just, I have to say, so grateful to be able to be here with you all tonight.
Thank you so much, Kat. And I think I can speak for all of us that we would not be here without Birdability. So you have been a tremendous partner and really very critical and crucial to us being able to do this. So thank you very much, Kat. Um, so what we're going to do tonight, I'm going to talk a little bit. I'm Martha Steele. I'm from Massachusetts. I'm blind from Usher syndrome. We are going to talk first a little bit about the event itself and some of the kind of parameters of the event. Then Jerry will talk about compilation of results, reporting what you see to him. And then Donna will weigh in and talk a little bit about the prizes that we have uh, for a post-event drawing later in May or June. So that's the structure. And then after that, Q&A. We are leaving a lot of time for questions from all of you. And so when we get to that, we'll take and try to answer any questions you have. So let me start by just reiterating that the Bird-a-Thon this year is going to be Sunday and Monday, May 3rd and 4th. The reason we have 2 days this year as opposed to one last year is that we wanted to give flexibility to all of you who may have better transportation options on Monday versus Sunday, flexibility in terms of weather conditions. If it's really terrible on Sunday, you may be able to better bird on Monday, or any other personal reasons. So you just have some flexibility to bird on one or the other day. We are asking that you bird at least 2 hours on one of the days, and you may bird anywhere in the world you happen to be. It may be in your backyard, it may be with a friend, it may be with an organized group. It really is up to you as to how you want to bird and where you want to bird. Um, and anybody who is blind or has low vision is eligible. If you are with someone, a sighted person who might be assisting you or helping you, um, we only ask that whatever bird you hear or see be something you do indeed hear or see. If your sighted person sees a scarlet tanager, for example, but you do not see it or hear it, then you would not report that you saw or you heard a scarlet tanager, even though your assistant did. So it really is putting down what bird species you see or hear during the time that you're birding. Um, we do know of a number of organized events across the country. There are some organized events in Michigan, in Minnesota, in Wisconsin, in Maryland, in Massachusetts, in New York, in Washington, D.C., and in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. There may be others, but if you live in any of those states or you're going to be there during the time of the Bird-a-Thon, the Birdability website has a listing of where those events are specifically within those states and a contact person to get more information about that event. And that's at birdability.org. And on that website, there is, I guess, near the top of the page, a link to the Blind Birders Bird-a-Thon. And that's where you can find that information. So,
I'm
um,
I was just going to say, Martha, I'm also going to put that in the chat just in case that's useful for anyone. Uh, that is there as well, a direct link to that.
okay, that would be great. Um, so my phone is ringing, even though you can't hear it, it's going to my cochlear implants. Um, so I think that's pretty much an overview. We currently have participants not only in the United States and Canada, but we have some in other countries as well, such as the UK, Venezuela, South Africa. So we really are expanding this year to a global stage, and we're very, very excited about that. Um, we really want this to be something enjoyable for you. We really feel wonderful that we have so many people who are interested in learning how to bird and learning to identify birds, because the reality is birding is really primarily by ear. So we can bird just as well as anybody who has vision. Um, and in fact, it's a little bit easier to stand there and listen rather than try to find a bird. So, with that overview of the days, the time, minimum 2 hours, some of the locations of places that will have organized walks that will appear on the Birdability website, and Kat just said she put it in the chat. I want to turn it to Jerry, who's going to talk about how you report your results.
Thank you, Martha. And hi, everybody. I'm Jerry Barrier, located in Malden, Massachusetts, near Boston. And here's what you need to know about reporting your information from whatever event you go to. If you're birding in a group, we would ask that you select a group spokesperson from among the blind and low vision people in the group. We really want the reports to come from somebody who's blind or low vision. And that could be you or anyone you would like to designate as the spokesperson, as long as they're blind or low vision. The report can be sent to me by email, and we're going to be sending you a document that says everything that I'm about to say. So don't worry about trying to remember it all right now. But you can email your report to me at my first name dot last name. Is that a bird I hear?
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, that's my clock.
Very
All
good.
right.
Okay, so my email address is jerry dot berrier at gmail.com. And if that doesn't work out well for you, you can text or call me on the phone at 508-735-4420. Your report should include the following: the date of your birding event, which has got to be either May 3rd or 4th, your name, your email address, your phone number, the name of all registered blind or low vision participants in your group, if you're in a group. And you don't have to be in a group. I think maybe Martha already said this, that you can bird solo if you choose to. You can also make a separate list of the sighted participants or volunteers if you want to. That's not a requirement, though. We need to know the place and the state where your birding took place and the complete name of each species of bird that you or other blind people in the group recognized. And as Martha said, if one of your sighted friends says, "Oh, I see that scarlet tanager," if you don't hear it or see it, and neither do any of the other blind folks, then you can't add that one to the list. It is okay to use the Merlin app to identify birds if you have that. In fact, I would highly recommend it. It's a wonderful help. I use it quite all the time, even though as Kat said, I've been birding for 55 years, but I've forgotten a lot of the birds over the years. So we also want you to, as I said, include the complete name of each species, such as field sparrow, red-bellied woodpecker, etc. Song sparrow, field sparrow, just a list of all the birds. If you just say sparrow or you just say woodpecker, we cannot count that because that's not a species. That's a grouping of species. So we need the actual name of the species of bird. We don't know, we don't need to know how many of each species you found. It's okay to just say song sparrow, even if you heard 100 of them. I mean, if you want to include that, it's fine, but we're not calculating, we're not competing in any way with each other, and we're not counting the numbers of each species. We just want to know how many species. And I think that is it, unless my friends here can think of anything that I left out.
This is
Thank
And
you, Jerry.
and
This is Martha. I can't, but if there are questions, they will come.
mhm. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. So Donna will talk a little bit about the prizes. Go ahead, Donna.
Oh, hello, everybody. I just want to reiterate, as Jerry and Martha and Kat have said, this is not a competition, but we have collected between 15 and 20 prizes so far. And on our follow up meeting, we will be randomly distributing. So everybody will be eligible to win a prize if they're there that night, which I don't think we have a date, do we? Or do we?
We do. We do.
Oh,
What a perfect timing for me to say June 2nd,
oh,
actually,
that's right.
is
Oh,
when
good.
we will be hosting this. We did decide that on our last planning meeting.
That's right.
I'll be sending that out in the follow-up email along with Jerry's contact information and that report form and anything else we mention tonight. But June 2nd, go ahead and put it on your calendar for the same time, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Okay, so about these prizes, some of them are really worth having. Some big ones here. I see a $200 gift certificate from Bird Watchers General Store, which is the store that advertises on Ray Brown's Talking Birds. I see 6 bags of Birds and Beans coffee. I see $200 gift certificate from the Carroll Center for the Blind in Massachusetts. Bird Watchers supply and gift, 2 $100 prizes. I'm just going to keep going here because this is kind of exciting.
Yeah,
One
this is
hundred
very
dollars,
exciting.
a
I want
hundred
to know,
dollar.
can I
I
win a
know,
prize as
I
one of
know,
the
Jerry. You know we've talked about this. I know we'd all really like. Here's one: the Audubon Shop, $100 gift certificate. They have some fun stuff there. I'd like to have, but no.
yeah.
The Blind Kitchen, two $25 gift certificates. That's all right. I already said Birds and Beans coffee. Bird. Let me try to say this. A bird motif ceramic box that you can feel the birds on that, and it's filled with native seeds, so you can plant them. A Birding by Ear and Beyond Raptor shirt. Homemade molasses cookies. The Bird Note Store, $1.50 gift certificate, and also a 3-month free membership to Bird Note Plus. A Michigan Frog CD, and a bottle of maple syrup from Michigan. So we'll probably have a few more prizes coming in, but again, it's not a competition. Join in June 2nd, and you have as much chance to win as anyone else.
And this is Kat. I wanted to follow up and answer a
Oh, I
question that
forgot.
came
Yeah.
directly to me in the chat, if it's okay, Donna, which is just to let folks know this is only available to folks who are birding in the United States. So, our
Mm-hmm.
international friends, sadly, these are the prizes that are available for folks who are birding in the United States. For folks joining us from Canada, Mexico, and beyond, we know some of those countries are hosting their own prize drawings, but with this one on June 2nd, while everyone is absolutely welcome, and we hope you'll join us to
Mm-hmm.
celebrate and wrap up this year's event. Those prizes are only for folks who are blind or low vision, who are birding in the United States. And Jerry, Donna, and Martha, you all are not sadly
Sad
eligible.
face.
Darn.
I know. We just do the work of collecting them. And that reminds me, Kat, don't you have a chirp box or what
I
do you
sure
call it?
do. Yes,
Yeah.
I also have a chirp sound system to add to that prize list. And we'll be delighted to send that on to somebody who participates in the event and is there on June 2nd.
Why don't you tell us what a chirp sound box
Yeah.
is?
A chirp sound system is a recording device that goes outside and pumps or pipes the sound of the birds directly into a speaker that you can put anywhere in your house. So you get to listen to the birds
Wonderful.
even in the middle of winter, for example, if you live in
Oh,
Iowa like I do. So
are you
that's a pretty
sure we
joyful
can't
thing.
win that?
I'm pretty
Man.
sure. Yeah.
Well, thank you. And I would like to say thanks to the businesses and individuals who did donate, and we do appreciate the support and their belief in what we're doing.
Yes, amen to that. It's some really wonderful prizes. So thank you very much, Donna.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I think with that, we did want to leave plenty of time for questions and answers. So, Kat, I think, can you kind of monitor? Feel free to ask your questions either
Sure can.
by raising your hand or just saying, I have a question, and then waiting for us to call on you.
And actually, I have a question that someone sent in via email ahead of time, if that's okay, Martha.
Sure.
Uh, One of the questions that came up was actually about Merlin, and the person who asked the question wondered if anybody could help crowdsource information. They have a phone that doesn't have a system that allows Merlin's app to be downloaded, and they wondered if there was
Hmm.
any other way to access Merlin. And I thought this group might be able to answer that, hopefully.
I
That would be
don't
Jerry.
know of any other way other than through a mobile phone, either Android or iPhone. I'm not aware of any other way that you can do it.
Okay.
I wouldn't see how since it's an app for your phone.
All right. That's really helpful to know. I didn't know if
Yeah.
it was possible that there was another tool or that could be used on a tablet or something like that.
Oh, well, if it's a an Android or an iPhone, not iPhone, iPad tablet,
Mm-hmm.
no, you got me wondering.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not
All
sure
right.
about that.
All right. I see somebody else piping up in the chat that says they believe it actually does work on tablets.
Yeah, I
So
think so too.
So if you are here on the call, questioner, that is the answer. Is if you have a tablet, that might still be able to work, but generally the app works best on either an iPhone or an Android phone and can be downloaded either from Google Play or from the App Store. Oh, great. Somebody else says, yes, Merlin iOS version works on iPad. Great. Thank you for that, for sharing that.
It
Other
might be interesting for
questions?
people to know just how many people we have on the meeting, and I'm trying to find that number.
I can tell
Uh,
you, Jerry, we have
okay,
53 right now. We had 55 a moment ago. We're down to 53. And we're, again, recording this. So we know lots of the folks who said they weren't able to join us tonight will be listening to it later. So, hi, folks, listening later.
Hi, my name is Kathy, and I live in Ashtabula, Ohio. And I'm brand new to this. I didn't even know the group existed, but my friend sent me the link. So I really am in the dark about it. No pun intended. Um, but yes, I love Merlin, and I have been listening to birds for many, many years. So I'm anxious to join again in June just to see what the organization is all about because I really don't know. So
wonderful.
thank you.
Welcome
So
aboard.
Thank you.
I hope you're able to get out and do some birding on May 3rd or 4th, Kathy.
Yes, I will try to do that.
That
Another
will be
thing,
fantastic.
Kathy, on birdability.org, we have favorite asked questions and lots of information about the Bird-a-Thon. So,
Okay.
and I do want to say people are welcome to bird both days, the
Yes,
Sunday and Monday for, us crazy diehard birders. We'll be
Are
out
you
there both
asking,
days.
I'm sorry, are you asking people to do 2 hours straight or can it be broken up, based on your schedule?
it can be. This is Martha. It can be broken up. It does not need to be 2 hours straight.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you.
This is Kat, and I just want to also say hi, Kathy. And for anyone else that hasn't yet registered but is planning to participate, please do remember that it really helps us to have a sense of who is participating and where all you are participating from. If you go to the website and register to let us know that you're participating. And I see Trisha, you have a hand raised if you want to go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay, I just want to let everyone know that this well this during this birdathon, this will be my first time. I am going to be birding in honor of my sister. I lost her in 2020 during the pandemic, and she had the umbilical around her neck when she was born and could not speak, but she could see and hear, but could not speak, could not walk, had profound brain damage, but she loved birds, and they used to put her next to the window, and she loved the birds, and I'm doing this in her honor.
That's
Thank you.
really nice.
Oh, that's
Oh,
Very
wonderful.
Tricia, that's a
sweet.
great story. That really is very moving. Thank you for
Yes.
sharing
Great
that.
motivation for getting out there, too.
Hmm.
Yeah. I'll be thinking of you.
Hmm. Patricia, what was your sister's name?
Her name was Wanda Faye. Faye was my mom's
Oh,
name.
okay.
And yeah, she was only a couple of years older than me, and I didn't get to see her because it was COVID. I had to say goodbye to her on the
Hmm.
phone, and it was really tough. But she loved her caretaker used to say, "Oh, we put her by the window. She loves the birds. She loves them so much." So when you say anybody can bird, you're not kidding.
I love
Good.
that. Thank you,
Yes.
Trisha. Now I'll have Wanda in my heart too. So thank you for that. Other questions that folks have about our time together on May 3rd and 4th?
Or
Uh,
anything you want to share?
oh, yeah.
Quinn. Um,
Hi, Quinn. Go
oh,
ahead.
so my friend Jamal told me about this call today. I've never birded. I don't even really know what birding is, but from what you said, it sounds very interesting.
Well, that's a actually a really good question. I'm sure you're not the only one that's on here who probably doesn't really just know, what this is all about. But birding is what they used to call bird watching, which was really kind of a misnomer because, as Martha said, there's a lot more listening done in birding than there is watching and seeing. So it's simply getting out and learning what birds sound like, maybe learning a little bit about them. I find it fascinating just to learn what their lives are like, and the fact that some birds migrate 10,000 miles. Every time I think about that, I just
Hmm.
consider it just awesome, and I find it just hard to imagine. And another thing about birds that we learned in one of our sessions recently was about why they migrate. That they, most people I know, I always thought they migrated where the weather was warmer. And sometimes that's true, but they really migrate to where there's a better supply of food for them. And sometimes that may be south of where they are, sometimes it may be east or west. But birds can manage in any harsh environment. They're amazingly able to thrive in the worst kind of weather imaginable. So just things like that. That's all part of birding, but it's basically just getting out there and learning about them and trying to identify some of them.
How do you like? I mean, I've heard birds before. I like going out in nature, but I don't know what any of them are. How do I learn what sounds to listen for?
Well, there are resources on the internet where you can find bird sounds. Um, I don't want to give a shameless plug for my website, but I will at birdblind.org. I have some bird recordings that I've made over the years, and I identify them. Um, the Merlin Bird ID app will identify birds, and there's another app that I highly recommend to people, which is called Larkwire, and it is for teaching yourself bird sounds and then testing yourself to see how well you can recognize them. So there are
Okay.
lots of ways to learn them.
And Quinn, This is Kat. I want to also add, I just put into the chat, or if anybody wants to email me, I'm happy to send it to you directly. The link to all of the previous Blind Birder Bird-a-Thon community conversations. We've made recordings of all of those. So you can
Okay.
listen in about how to start to learn about birds through mnemonics or recording, or you can, there's all kinds of different conversations that we've been able to have over this last chunk of time. So that's in the chat if you're interested in that too.
Okay. So it's not too late to register, right? I could still
Absolutely
do it.
not. Yeah,
Okay. All
for
right.
sure.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Sylvia. I'm actually the one who introduced Kathy
Have you joined
to
their
this.
groups?
And I do have a question is when is the report due? And so my interesting little thing is I'm actually going to be walking the Camino de Santiago during this, so I will do my birding from there. But I live in Florida and I do birding every single day, and the spring has been amazing. Every single day I get a new bird.
Well, I'm glad you asked about how quickly they have to get the
Mm-hmm.
reports, and I forgot to mention that.
Mm-hmm.
I think we agreed that 2 weeks is okay, but anything beyond that may be difficult for us to
Okay.
manage. So after the birding event on May 3rd or 4th, you have 2 weeks, but if you can get it in a week, that's even better.
Great, thank you. Just wasn't sure if it was like that day or,
Oh, no,
okay,
no,
perfect.
No.
no. We do recognize you've got to have a little time, but yeah, if you can
Mhm.
get it in within a couple of weeks, what
And
we
I will recommend anyone who hasn't been to the previous to go back and watch the videos, listen to the videos. Oh my gosh, they were so fascinating.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
that plug. I
Yeah.
see
Mhm.
that Hersha has a hand up. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Please, if you want to go
Yes, you
ahead with your
did.
question.
Yes, you did. Yeah, so shout out to all the Torontonians if any of you, like any of us are on the call. I attended a few birding events last year through the Toronto Ornithological Club. They were lovely. And so I'm excited to participate in the Bird-a-Thon. I didn't realize that this was a North America-wide thing. I thought it was just like a Toronto thing, so I joined the call and lo and behold, I found like so many of you guys here. Um, I do have a question. So is this happening like all across North America and we're supposed to submit? So how will you get the like can we see what birds other people have found?
So this is Martha. This is happening all over the world, not just North America.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's open to anyone in the world. We will compile results from everywhere, and
Mm,
that's will be one of the things that we'll talk about and report out to all of you at the June 2nd meeting. And we'll also include it in an email as well, but that we'll be discussing that and reporting on that at June 2nd.
got it. Thank you.
And there are quite a number of other Torontonians, I think, on the call as well, including our friends and partners at TOC. Steve, I think you're definitely on the call, as well as a number of others. We've had such a delightful time getting to know a number of folks from TOC as we've continued planning together. So thanks for that shout out. It's fun to know we're being joined by a number of our Canadian colleagues.
Hi, Steve. I'd be interested to hear from you if you have anything to say.
Hi, folks. Well, I've always got stuff to say, but whether you want to hear it, I don't know. Yeah, so Hersha, I'm sorry that I guess I didn't communicate clearly enough about the grand scale of all of this, and yeah, but we are organizing something locally, obviously, but um, yeah, this is something with big ambitions, and yeah, hopefully it'll become a recurring thing that'll grow year by year. I'm excited to be participating in it, and yeah, tell all your friends. Look forward to seeing you in Hyde Park.
Awesome. Nancy, I see you have a hand up. Go ahead.
Hey, yes, I apologize. I haven't looked thoroughly at the website, but do you know if there's any events in the Washington, D.C. area? I know there was one last year. Is there one this year?
There is one this year. As a matter of fact, I think Maria Elena at least is on the call. It is. Do you want to answer, Maria Elena, where you all are birding this year, where the event is?
Yes, hi everybody. We will be at Wheaton Regional Park in Wheaton, Maryland on Sunday. The is that the that's the third, yeah.
That's the third, yeah.
At 9, I think it's 9 a.m. It is on the website already, and we will have it on our local social media as well for registration. And we're doing that in partnership with MWABA.
Cool.
Yay, second year for that. What a joy.
Indeed.
And I am so grateful for that. I also want to, if I could, Jerry and Donna and Martha, just introduce as well Mary Lou from Cornell. If you're on, Mary Lou, um, she and I have been working together on trying to make sure that some of our fantastic community members who are participating from Venezuela, Puerto Rico, Colombia and other places are also engaged in this Blind Birder Bird-a-thon. They have been incredibly active in posting on social media, and it's been such a delight to have help from Mary Lou at Cornell, who Cornell Urban Birds, who has been helping facilitate that. So in terms of the globalness of this, I just wanted to give a big shout out for that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. And hello to everyone. It's such a wonderful thing to be here with you all. I've been here like quietly listening to you all and enjoying this. So yes, I am responsible for Celebrate Urban Birds, and we want to celebrate everywhere. And we're here to support you in all you need, you want, and to do. And yes, birding is for everyone, and to connect with nature and birds in the best way, the way that makes sense to each one. It's what we love to support.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. Thank you so much for being here and for all your help. I want to shout out that this is the second year that Marilu has helped create Spanish language materials for us as well, so that our friends in Central and South America are able to participate in and have that be in Spanish. So our partnership is growing every day, and I'm so grateful for it. Other questions that folks have? Thank you for all of the questions so far.
This is Donna. I would like to say, especially Quinn made me think of it, that if a person really wants to get together with somebody else to bird, if they would look on that list of birding groups, but do you have a way to connect any of us, Kat, with you used to have those birding captains and um, anybody that wants to get connected, I'd really like
Yeah.
to help them.
Yeah. Quinn, if you register, one of the things that you can do is you can click on the registration. There's an option that says, I'm looking for others, or I'm hoping to find others to bird with. And if you do that, then what I can do is I can email you any of the other folks in the region that you are birding in, if they've also identified that they're interested. So we try to make connections between people who are in similar geographic areas if they're interested in finding other folks to bird with. Again, a big part of this is community building.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Thank you for Donna for remembering to say that, because that we did that last year, and I know
Mm-hmm.
some folks found each other that way.
Mm-hmm. And of course, the whole idea is to get out there and listen to the birds, and whatever makes that easier for you, we want to help.
I can hear your birds, Donna, behind you.
Yeah,
You must have a window
they're
open.
out on my balcony. I know. Aren't I lucky? I get to hear that all day long.
Yes.
I was listening to him. I just ordered a new bird feeder for my back window for my finches. This is Miss Felina. I'm sorry.
This is Jerry. I've had bird feeders up for years, off and on, although they're a bit of work to keep them clean and everything. But I got in trouble last summer because, and I live in a relatively urban area, but I do have a yard in the back and some trees. But I decided to put a few really big bird feeders up. And a couple of days later, my wife looked out and she said, Jerry, there are hundreds of birds out there. And within minutes, my next door neighbor, who's 89 years old, called all in a panic and was afraid she was going to be attacked by the birds.
Oh
So I
my
had to take
goodness.
the feeders down. But there are other ways to attract birds. You can
Yes.
attract them with any water source. And I, so I've kind of given up on bird feeders for the time being anyway.
Well, the thing about it is, this time of year, you don't need a feeder out there. They're just busy singing
Yeah.
and looking for their mates and getting ready to nest, and they don't care about the bird feeders as much right now.
Hmm.
This is Kathy again. When we came home from the Outer Banks, my husband noticed the door to the bluebird house was ajar. And so when he went to close it up, he said there was a lovely, nice, and neat bird nest in there that the bluebirds
Oh,
have created. And he said he saw both the mom and dad
oh,
near the house today, and so that's pretty exciting for us
yeah, it
because we've only
is.
noticed bluebirds in Ohio for the past 2 years, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So that
wow.
inspired us to do a couple bluebird houses
Cool.
So Kathy, where is Ashtabula? What's that near in Ohio? Is it near Toledo or Cleveland?
right on the shores of Lake Erie, 1 hour east of Cleveland.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
so it's
Oh,
closer to
east of
Pittsburgh then?
Cleveland.
no, no, no. We're right on the shore of Lake Erie, so we're right on the coast.
Oh, okay.
Equal distance between Cleveland and Erie, PA.
Ah, got it.
No, Pittsburgh is southeast of us, two and a
Yes,
half hours.
I don't know what I was thinking. I grew up in Pittsburgh, so and I've been
Okay.
used to go to Erie all the time also.
Okay. Yeah, I'm directly east or west of Erie.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we're right on Lake Erie, so lots of eagles.
Ah.
Yeah, it's wonderful. They love to fish, and we love to watch them fish.
Trisha has a hand raised.
Hey, Tricia.
No, sorry, that was a legacy hand. I'll lower it.
Got it. Got it. Thank you. Anyone else have questions for us today?
I have a question. This is
Yes.
Felina from New York City. Um, I am working on getting birding tours for the local cemetery, and they require proof of insurance. Is that something that we have access to?
Felina, you and I can chat after about that. Felina is one of our captains through the Birdability program, and I'd love to chat with you more about that afterwards
Thank you
and
so much.
share some resources. You bet. Happily so.
I seen someone ask if there was an event in New York City, and that would be very helpful so that I could actually post that event for that specific location, since it's very, very accessible and right next to a bus stop.
Oh, fabulous. Fantastic. Yeah, we'll be in touch.
Yes,
Thank you.
another event I think in New York City will be in Jamaica Bay.
Hi, this is Trisha. I got unmuted. I'm sorry. I was going to ask about using a voice recorder during the event so that if you hear something you don't recognize, you can come home and try to research. I can try to research it and see if I can report it. But using a voice recorder, just in case you can't get everything written down.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
Yeah, me
What we
too.
don't recommend is playing bird sounds on a player of any kind because that can confuse birds and even cause
Yeah,
them to leave their nests sometimes. So we don't
right.
encourage that, but you can certainly take a recorder with you. I've been doing that for years, and I that's how I learn a lot of new birds is I record them and then I try to match them to sounds that I have on professionally done recordings that I have.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Incoming +1 3 0.
Other questions that folks have for Martha, Donna, Jerry? Yes, Lynn, go ahead.
Hi, how can I get a copy? All the stuff you're writing in the chat is too fast for me. Um,
You
I
bet.
don't know how to get access to the chat. I'm sorry. I'm not
No.
technology very good with technology. How can I get the email with all of the links in it from the previous recordings as well?
Have you registered?
Oh, I haven't, but I will.
Okay, because we've been sending emails out to everyone who's registered.
Oh, okay. I have
And
a friend who wants to register also, who hasn't been able to come to these. Will she get access if she registers as well?
oh, sure,
Yep.
yeah,
Oh, okay. I'll just send her.
Absolutely.
I can send her the application then, right?
yeah.
And then, okay.
And
All right. Thank you.
the other thing I was going to say, Lynn, is that if you wanted to email me, you're welcome to do that. And I can send information about all the things from this to you, to your friend, to anyone else. Registering is going to be the easiest way, though, because that also gets you on the list of birders for the May 3rd and 4th event. And then you'll get all of the communications from us.
And that also makes
Okay.
you eligible for the prizes. Nobody who isn't
Oh,
registered can
yeah.
be eligible for a prize.
Right. And I knew that.
Yeah,
I just wanted to make sure that
yep.
she hasn't been able to come to these calls. So
Hmm.
thank you so much.
And I do just want to say, building, Lynn, on what you were just saying, and if it's okay, to remind folks that we still have 2-3 weeks before the
Yep.
event, and people can register literally right up to the last moment.
Yep.
And this is a very low barrier event. We try to make it, I mean, other than Jerry Barrier, but it's a low barrier event in every other way. We really want people to get out there and bird, and we want to do anything we can to make that as easy as possible for people to be able to participate in this way.
Yes, only 20 days till we start counting the birds. For those of us that don't do it every other day.
Well, Martha, Donna, Jerry, do you all have sort of final thoughts that you want to share? Unless folks have additional questions, sometimes your final thoughts might prompt additional questions.
I'll defer to Martha and Donna. I don't have any additional thoughts.
I see we
So,
have another hand up too, Martha, just so you
oh,
know.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Nancy. Yeah, go ahead, Nancy.
Apologies. I just, since we have a few minutes left, I thought I'd ask. I'm very interested in the Larkwire app.
Hmm.
I just kind of heard about it right now. I have Merlin Bird ID, but because there's so many birds at one time, it's hard to tell which one is which. So is Larkwire something that you pay for and then you get different plans or, pay for
Um,
certain courses?
if I remember correctly, it's a combination. The app itself is free, and then you can buy courses, and you can also download sound packs from different parts of the world. And I think they do charge for those. It's not a terrifically high charge, though. Some of them are maybe $30. But it really is a wonderful app. For years, I used to just dream about having an app that I could test myself with to try and relearn some of the birds that I don't hear very often. And that definitely is it.
Well, that's really cool. I had treated myself, I haven't listened to it yet, but I bought a course from the Cornell Lab of Ornithology.
Oh.
They had a birdsong introductory course, which was on sale for like 25 bucks or something. So it
How
wasn't
was
really a
that
test per
course?
se. But
How was that course?
I'm sorry to say I haven't done it yet.
Oh,
I got a
okay.
good price and I didn't want to miss it. I had to
Okay.
I had to do my taxes and all sorts of other stuff recently, so I haven't had a chance to dig into it. But I would definitely be interested. And I wanted to just share in case people haven't read this book, but it came out last year. It's called Bird Talk by Becca Rowland.
Oh,
Yes,
yes.
And
that's funny.
she was on Bird Note one time. She's been on a couple of times, but it is hysterical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a funny book.
Hysterical.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So if that's something you give away as a prize, like an audio version of that, I've been listening
Ooh.
to it on my audio, but it's absolutely hysterical. So
Yeah, it
thank
is
you.
Sure.
available on Bard. I've read it, and she's
Yes.
really funny. And
There's another book.
it gives you ways to remember the bird song.
Yeah. There's another book available on Bard that's quite an older one. In fact, it talks about people who are handicapped instead of having disabilities. So you know it's old, but it was done by Lang Elliott, who's a nature recordist, world renowned nature recordist, and he did a really good job with it. It's called a bird song tutor, and I'm pretty sure it's still available on Bard. It's an audio book, and he plays all kinds of bird sounds and talks about them, and it's a wonderful
Cool.
resource.
After we had the last month's, maybe it was might have been 2 months ago with Scott Weidensaul, I downloaded there's several Bard books that he
Hmm.
wrote about birding that are on
Mm-hmm.
Bard Mobile as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
yeah,
living
those are
on the
really good.
wind.
yeah.
Thank you.
There's a question about sharing the names of those books in the chat. I will go back from through the recording, pull out all of these, and I will send them in the follow-up email, my friends.
Wow, Kat.
We all need good books, right? That's good
Yeah.
book recommendations.
I mean, there are a lot of birding books on Bard.
Excellent.
Hmm. I'll give my final words because I really want to encourage people to get out there and try to listen for a bird. And if you are by yourself, you're not familiar with birds, I guarantee before you come back in the house, you'll hear an American robin. And if you send in your list with just an American robin and you've registered, hey, you're a part of the Bird-a-Thon, and we appreciate that.
That's a good point. And you can bird from your own backyard or
Hmm.
from indoors with the window open, even.
And you'll hear an American robin.
Yep. And in case you wonder what they sound like they're saying, cheer up, cheerily, cheer up.
Hmm.
Terry and Martha and Donna, there's a question from another Donna in the chat who said, I have quite a few mockingbirds in my area. How would I categorize those?
They would just be called either northern or southern. I don't know if they still have southern mockingbird, but
No,
They're
it's
all
just a
northern
yeah,
mockingbird.
northern mockingbird.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
Florida state bird, and that's as south as you can get. And it's
And
a
they're
northern mockingbird.
they do a good job of mimicking, but once you learn that you can pretty much recognize when it's a mockingbird by the number of times that it says each thing before it goes on to something else. And not only do they have familiar bird songs that they imitate, but also all kinds of crazy things, sirens and all sorts of things. I love them. I really like hearing mockingbirds. I like hearing crows too.
Hmm.
Um, this is Felina. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I, I think it was just Martha who was going to wrap us up now.
Yeah. But are there any more questions, Kat?
Not that I see.
Okay. Yeah, so this is Martha. I'm just absolutely ecstatic that you all joined us tonight. And
Hmm.
uh, we are a group really passionate about birds. They are a joy. And I just go out and listen to birds, and I have to tell you, when they return in the spring, I am always saying to the birds that are back, welcome back. I'm glad you made it. Good luck. And in the fall, I say, good luck on your trip back south. I'm constantly talking to them. So we hope you will find joy in birding as we do. And it does get you outside and it gets you paying attention to what's around you. And it gets you present to what you're listening to. And we just are very, very grateful for your participation and for your interest, and really look forward to the Bird-a-Thon event and hearing about what you all hear and see.
Amazing. Martha, it makes me think, you saying that, it makes me think about the recent study a few years ago that found just 6 minutes a day of birdsong significantly regulates our nervous systems and brings joy to us. And so, what a good reminder to get out there. And if 6 minutes does that, imagine what 2 hours will do. So, thank
Very
you.
good.
Thank you all so much for being here tonight. We'll follow up with an email with all of the resources that we've discussed, with the form to be able to submit birds. And I know Martha, Jerry, and Donna, your contact information is out there in the world if people have questions as we get closer. And I just can't say thank you enough, especially to Martha, Donna, and Jerry. Martha's idea a few years ago has sparked an incredible community of people, and we're just so lucky that the three of you have been willing to put so much time and effort into this. So thank you for joining us, and thanks to this amazing planning team for bringing us together, friends.
Including
And
you.
thank you, Kat.
Yes.
Yep.
Have a wonderful rest of your night, everybody.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Bye.
Good night,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Full speech. Becky Schneider dash dot alt F4. Leave meeting button.